Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. It is finally going to be a new Shopped My Stash video. Okay, so I haven't done one of these since December. I did mention when I posted that video in December that I was going to be changing up the series a little bit, and then I also shared my project pan for 2020. I will link that video down below because I do go into a little bit more depth on how I'm planning to run my project pan and also my Shop to My Stash series throughout the year of 2020. But just to give a little recap, how I have been running my Shop My Stash series is that I go through my makeup collection, I pick out a makeup bag of products that I want to focus on throughout the month. I typically was doing a try to get ready with me using the products, and then I come back after a month, I review all the products that I tried really consistently, then I pick out a new bag. I'm pretty much going to keep on that same path, except instead of doing this every single month, I'm going to be doing this series every other month, and then in between, like, I'm just rotating them with my project pan. So January there was a project pan video, February will be Shop My Stash, March will be project pan, and so on. I noticed when I was doing the series, because I started it in 2020, Shop My Stash is not new or anything like that, but I started the series doing it myself in 2020, and at first I thought monthly was going to be fine, but especially because I get so much new makeup, I'm always trying to review new makeup, it was just hard to focus on a makeup bag for only 1 month with also trying to review new products. So that's why I decided to change it to the every other month, just to give me more time to use some of these products, maybe use some of them up, but be able to have more looks with them or to share some further detailed reviews on the products. So that's kind of the biggest change. I still want to do a try to get ready with me. I was doing Thursday, Friday with the series. Thursday I actually do upload a podcast. I have a podcast called Start Inspired, so I took away a YouTube upload. So I don't know if I'm going to have structure with this series like I did in 2019, but I will do a try to get ready with me with my Shop My Stash bag, and I will also incorporate the products more in my get ready with me videos throughout the 2 months that I'm using the bag. Hopefully that all makes sense. Again, I'll link the project pan video because I do go into a little bit more detail, but I'm excited to be back with the series. So I'm going to be reviewing the bag of everything that I chose out for December. I have new products that I'm going to be using in February and also March. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it. I know that was a bit of a longer intro, but I did also want to say I do have an eye look on my Instagram with this look right here using the, speaking of new makeup, the Natasha Denona Love Palette. So that will be linked in my description box also if you want to see how I got to this eye look. But the palette that I was using, speaking of like pinks and such, but for the palette that I chose out in the last Shop My Stash was the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I did use this palette several times throughout the like 2.5 months now that I've had this Shop My Stash bag. I did order the new bags from Ali Glines. If you didn't see, I talked about it 2 weeks ago in a Will I Buy It video talking about new releases. Ali Glines is one of my favorites here, and she came out with makeup bags, and I have been waiting because I thought it'd be really fun to have my new Shop My Stash bag be one of her makeup bags, but it's not gonna get in until tomorrow, and I keep pushing back this video, and I know I just need to get it up. So next time one of her bags will be in here. Okay, but I did use this palette a handful of times. I've reviewed this palette on my channel. I've put it in ranking videos and all of that. I like it, but I'm not someone who lost my mind over this palette. You do have one cream product here. I do have some tape over it. That's the concealer. Otherwise, you have mattes, you have shimmers, you have pressed glitters in here. I feel like when I go into this palette, I kind of do the same look over and over again, which isn't a bad thing, but because of that, I almost wish that this was a little bit of a smaller palette with a few less shades, because I love these tones. I love the like mauve, pinks, purples, some of my favorites to wear. But I almost just wish there was like I don't know, like maybe take out the glitters, because I didn't think the glitters were the best. The shimmer's really beautiful. I very rarely ever go into this concealer shade. It's just, I get the idea behind it. I like the concept of it, but I just really don't go for it a lot. I think this could have been a really cute, just smaller palette. You know, Huda has the 9-pan palettes. The formula is good, but it's nothing that I like freak out over. And again, I just feel like I do the same looks whenever I reach for this palette, but I always tend to think that they're pretty. So there's that. But those are my thoughts on the Huda Nude palette. All right, let's see. For my lip products, these are on top here. I had a lip liner from Bite Beauty. This is in 020. I like the Bite Beauty lip liners. They are wooden lip liners. 020 is a really nice nude. Got quite a few uses out of this one. My lipstick was from Urban Decay in Backtalk. I chose this out specifically because this is a pretty mauve lipstick and I thought it would pair really well with the Huda Beauty Nude palette. I did a few monochromatic looks throughout the past 2.5 months here and I really like this one. I do like the Urban Decay lipstick formula. I think they're really nice and I hadn't been reaching for them in a while, so it was nice to pull Backtalk back out. And then for my lip gloss, I did say in my December video that I was going to declutter this afterwards. Sometimes I will declutter products here and there in my Shop to My Stash videos, and I am going to be decluttering some products from this bag, and one of them is this Marc Jacobs lip gloss. This is in Sugar Sugar. I said I've just had this for a really long time and I believe that it is starting to go bad. I did a lip gloss declutter and I have a full size and a mini, and I could tell the mini had gone bad and I believe the full size is also. So it kind of pains me to part with it, but I've had it for so many years at this point, and I do like, this was a lip gloss that I purchased when I still wasn't even really into lip glosses. It was just Jaclyn Hill kept raving about it, and then I was hearing other YouTubers raving about it, and I was like, I should probably go buy it, so I did. And now there's other lip gloss formulas that I prefer, that I love to wear, that I buy myself again and again. And Marc Jacobs is like, it's still really pretty and I like it, but I don't think I would say it's like a favorite. So this one is going to go ahead and be thrown out because I think it's probably expired or getting really close at this point. Another eye product that I had grabbed out, this is from Stila. This is one of their glitter shadows in Kitten Karma. I just thought it would be a fun addition to the palette, even though that palette did have pressed glitters in it. A lot of times I don't prefer pressed glitters. I like something more like this, something more like the liquid shadows, and Stila really does have some good ones, and I just wanted to see how much I could use up. I did use it a handful of times, especially for quick and easy looks. I think liquid glitters are so just like fast and simple, and I still do want to use it up. I'm getting a little bit closer. I have used up a full size of one of the Stila glitters. Oh, but I can't think of the name off the top of my... Rose Gold Retro, I think is the one that I've used up. So I would like to use up Kitten Karma also. It's beautiful. But speaking of products that I will probably never use up, this here is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I threw it in the Shop My Stash bag. I hadn't used it for a while. I tried to pan this in 2018 and it's still not panned yet. So that's pretty wild, but I'm gonna still keep using it. I like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It was nice to get some more uses out of it. Again, it's just nice because I pull this bag out. You know, it's kind of always to the front. A lot of times if I'm on the go, like this past weekend, my husband and I went to another town to do some shopping and got to eat. Like, I just pulled this bag. You know, sometimes I throw other products in, or if I'm trying new products, sometimes they find their way in. But it's nice, but it's a good option just to have close to me. Okay, moving on. My highlighter was from Persona Cosmetics. This is the Zuma highlight. This is really beautiful. It's a gorgeous highlight. I just hadn't used it in a while, kind of, you know, a recurring theme for the Shop My Stash. But Zuma is beautiful. It does have a little bit of glitter to it, but I still think it's really stunning. Was glad to get some more use out of it. I think it's a good highlight. My blush was from Cover FX. This was in Warm Honey. I've reviewed this blush recently. I've chatted about it quite a few times on my channel. It's just super pigmented, so sometimes it can be a little bit scary to use because I don't want to go overboard with it. You have a matte side and also a shimmer side. I either mix them together or use the matte by itself. The shimmer by itself is a little bit too intense for me. I'm still going to keep it around. I kind of wanted to put it into my Shop My Stash to be like, should I keep it? Should I not keep it? And I decided that I'm gonna keep it for a little bit longer. It's not like my absolute favorite, but I still like it, so I'm gonna keep it. But a product that I am going to declutter, this is from Uoma Beauty. This is the Sculpt and Strobe, the Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick in Fair Lady. So you have a contour, I use it as a bronzer on one side and then a highlight on the other. I don't really use cream products a lot. I purchased this from Ulta Beauty because I was trying some products from Uoma Beauty and I just thought it would be fun to try. Every once in a while, I try to get into cream products and then they always end up just kind of collecting dust. The highlight is very subtle, which isn't really me. It takes me a lot to build it up. The contour side I don't mind. If it was just this, I would probably keep it, but truly even with it being in my Shop My Stash bag, I barely wore this since December. So there's just really no reason, I don't think, for me to keep it around. I just don't get enough use out of it, so I am gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I do also generally declutter my mascaras in my Shop My Stash. I try to pick a mascara that has been open for a while, that I know that, you know, the expiration is really kind of ticking down. And this one here is from Milk. This is the Kush mascara. So this was a mini, and I did have it open for a while. I do really like the Kush mascara from Milk. I've gone through, I think I've gone through a full size. I've gone through a couple minis, because sometimes if they're like a point perk or something at Sephora, I will go ahead and grab it, because I really do like to have it in my collection. It makes my lashes thicker, it makes them longer. It's a really dark mascara, so I'm a big fan of this one. But again, it's been open for a while, so I am gonna go ahead and declutter that one. My setting spray was from Morphe, the Continuous Setting Mist. I continue to be a really big fan of this one. I used it today. I'm trying out some new products on my face, and I'm not really loving some of them. I've been trying the Milani Screen Queen foundation. I do have an Ulta try-on haul that I can link also, where I try it for the first time, and I don't know. I just wasn't really loving it. So this was the setting spray that I wanted to reach for anyways, to try to just melt things together and just look more natural on my skin. So I still have some product left in there, so definitely gonna keep around the Morphe. My powder was from Covergirl. This is the Healthy Vitalist powder. This is actually in my 2020 project pan, which is kind of like an ongoing rolling project pan type of thing. And I wanna try to get as much use out of this powder. No, I wanna try to use this powder up. No, I'm going to use this powder up. That is my goal with the project pan. I think I can do it. I'm using it like obsessively. Really gonna try to get through this one. All right, my eyeliner, I just always like to throw in an eyeliner again, because this kind of doubles as a travel / on-the-go makeup bag. This is from Pur. This is in Rain. Pur has fantastic eyeliners. Definitely recommend you checking them out. I really did like this purple one, and these are the on-point liners, because when you put the cap back on and twist, you're actually sharpening them every time there's the sharpener in there, which I think is great. Okay, also another product I'm going to declutter is this from Urban Decay. This is the Brow Blade. This one is in the shade Brown Sugar. This just completely dried out on me. When I did my Try to Get Ready With Me for December's Shop My Stash bag, I pretty much couldn't get it to work. So that was a bummer. I know people were saying to either shake it or to make sure, because you have a pencil, like a precise pencil on one end, and then you have more of like your pen marker side on the other. People were saying make sure you store it with the marker side down to try to, like, you know, gravity and all of that. Nothing really worked for me. I was really bummed, because I only used the pencil and the marker side a little bit, and it just seemed to dry out so fast. I thought about just keeping around the pencil side, but truly I don't like the pencil side that much. It's a little bit too waxy for me. I liked the marker side more, so for that side to be the one that dried out, I was like, oh no. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. Okay, and then to finish off with some complexion products. For my primer, I chose the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. I like this, especially I'm in the Midwest, so the winters can be pretty brutal, especially on my skin. I feel like right now I have very dehydrated skin, but generally I have very dry skin. And I noticed since I bought this a couple of years ago, I really tend to reach for it a lot in the winter. I just feel like it really helps my skin just feel more moisturized. It's just more of a thicker serum, and I just really like it. So I have been using it quite a bit since I pulled it out. I think I'm about, it's kind of really hard to tell, so you can't really see it through the bottle, so just kind of holding it. I mean, I feel like I'm halfway through it, if maybe even a little bit more, so that's pretty good, because the Farsali serums are expensive, but I tend to like a lot of them. And I also chose that because my foundation I wanted to use was from Natasha Denona. This is the Foundation X Plus. So this is a little bit more full coverage. It's a little bit heavier. So I liked pairing it with the serum. I felt like they made a good combo. I did do a video recently ranking all of the foundations that I tried in 2019. So I do include this one from Natasha Denona. So again, it's a little bit more full coverage. It's a little bit more matte, kind of like a natural matte finish. It is very, very long wearing. I picked this up around like spring summertime in 2019, and I wore this to quite a few weddings because I feel like it's very, very long wearing. So still really like the foundation, got a lot of use out of it these past 2.5 months for sure, so I'm going to keep that one. And then to finish off my December bag, my concealer was from Ulta Beauty. This is the full coverage liquid concealer. I have the shade Light Neutral. This is a really nice concealer. I think it's like $9 from Ulta Beauty. It's very full coverage. A little bit is going to get you a long way, but if you're looking for a good, especially affordable, full coverage concealer, this one from Ulta I would definitely recommend. It's not the most hydrating. It's not the easiest to blend out. I kind of recommend applying to one eye, blending it, and then doing the other eye because it dries pretty quickly. But I am someone who really loves full coverage concealers, and you definitely get that with this one. So those are all of my thoughts and the products that I'm also decluttering from my December bag. Let me show you what I picked out for February and March. Alrighty, so I have my makeup bag filled up again. Okay, let's see, where shall we start? Well, my setting spray is on top here. This is from MAC. This is MAC, not Max. It's from MAC. This is one of the Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This is in lavender. I'm just trying to use this off. I think I've put this in like several Shop My Stash videos throughout 2019. Sometimes it's just so hard for me to go through makeup, but I don't feel like I have an influx in setting sprays right now, so I'm trying to focus on using some of them up, getting them out of my collection. Again, in my project pan, I talk a little bit more on my change in mindset of how much makeup I have, how much makeup I own, how much makeup I collect. And I kind of talk about, again, just changing my mindset of like more, hoard versus let's use things up, let's declutter things I'm not using, and so on. So again, that'll be linked, but I'm gonna see how well I can do on finishing off the Fix Plus. The only bad thing is that sometimes with this sprayer, it can be a little bit more than I love, and when you really get down there, I actually have to hold it with both hands and like try to spray now, because something about doing it with one hand makes it like it's just like the weird I don't know how to describe it exactly, but it's very odd. So I have to use both hands to try to spray it. It's getting a little weird, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's see. For my primer, I chose this one from Elsie. This is the Pearl Radiance Primer. I really like this primer. This was one that I purchased when I mentioned the Uoma Beauty Contour Stick. I did a video trying new brands at Ulta Beauty, and I did Elsie Cosmetics and Uoma Beauty. And from Elsie, I purchased this, their highlighter, and the foundation. I actually liked the primer the most. I definitely liked it more than the foundation. It really does leave like a nice radiant finish to the skin, and especially because I feel so dehydrated right now, like just my whole body is feeling that way. You know, if anyone lives in like very cold climates where you kind of get to the February time frame and it's like, get me out of here. My husband and I got married in September 6 years ago, but we got married in September. We waited to take our honeymoon until February because we knew that's when we want to leave. But like that's when it's like, is this never ending? Like this weather. So it's just like, that's just how I feel right now. So when I was looking over all of my makeup products, I was like, this sounds good. Pearl Radiance Primer, let's do it. And then I thought it would pair nicely with the foundation that I chose out, which is from Cover FX. This is the Power Play foundation. I chose this partly because of the shade, which is P40. This is one of my lighter foundations, and I'm not self-tanning right now. I'm not laying outside in my bikini working on my tan. You know, I'm not doing any of that, so I felt like it was a really good shade match. But also, again, I ranked foundations recently, and I like this one, but I feel like pairing it with the more radiant primer will make me like it a little bit more, because it's one of those foundations that like, I just don't have glowing things to say about it, but I don't have anything negative to say about it. But I definitely wanted to use it a little bit more. And then I also thought I could use the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. Again, kind of the same thing that I think about the foundation. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say about the concealer, but it's not an absolute favorite, and I tend not to reach for it often. The shade is Neutral Medium 1, which is a little bit dark for me, but especially because the foundation is so light, I feel like maybe we could like balance things out with the two. So I want to try to get some more use out of this concealer. And then speaking of Elsie Cosmetics, I also chose to put their highlight in here. I wanted to put their highlight in because I want to see if I want to declutter it. I definitely have a lot of highlights, and highlights are something that like it's just so rare for me to hit pan or use up a highlight. I can never open this either. It's so hard for me to open this highlight. And this one from Elsie, I just barely reach for it. So I wanted to put it into my Shop My Stash bag, you know, just get some further thoughts on it. Do I want to keep it around? If not, you know, I can declutter it, pass it along to someone who's going to actually use it more. It is really pretty. It's more of a pinky highlight. This one is, so the Eclipse highlighter in Luna. And I don't like, it's not, like, I think it's nice. Like, I don't think it's a bad highlight, but it just didn't turn into my favorite. It's a little bit more powdery than I would tend to prefer. Like, sometimes it kind of looks like you have highlight sitting on you instead of it just being like a glow. Like, I have Natasha Denona Super Glow on today, and it just makes me feel some kind of way. So we're gonna try it out, see if I want to declutter it or keep it around. For my powder, I chose out this one from Pat McGrath. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Setting Powder. I have the shade Light 1. So I love the Pat McGrath foundation. Again, ranked my foundations, that one's real high up there. And I do really like the powder too. Out of the foundation, the primer, and the powder, I would rank them foundation, powder, primer. That makes sense. But I feel like since I got it and was using it, I very rarely reach for it. I think there was some like backlash with how much product you get in here and the packaging and all of that, and just Pat McGrath does have really high prices, and sometimes when I see that, I wish this wasn't the way I was, but sometimes I like retreat and I'm like, okay, don't talk about it or don't use it as much, or you know, I always link all of my makeup in the description box. I'm like, don't keep linking it, like people are upset because of the pricing or the amount or whatever it may be. But I did like the powder, and I do think that it's nice, and I do think that it pairs really well with the foundation too, and I want to use it, so that's why I wanted to put it into my Shop My Stash. I like the way that it looks on, so I'm gonna get some use out of that one. And then I decided to add in a contour shade, take home the bronzer in Oliver from The Balm. I tried to pan this in 2019. I failed miserably, but I just wanted to add in a contour shade because I also have a face palette. I decided to go with the face palette. I feel like it's been a little bit since I've pulled one in, and I was just talking about Hourglass. They're coming out with some new palettes that have 3 shades in them. I was talking about them in a Will I Buy It video, and I referenced this palette that I got for holiday. I think it was 2018. So this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4. I really do like the bronzer out of here. I think that's very pretty, but I will have 2 blush options also. And then we have the highlight and the setting powders too. So I want to try to use the finishing powders. Sorry, they're finishing powders. I want to try to use them a little bit too. I know I pulled in my mini Hourglass finishing powder into a Shop My Stash towards the end of the year, but again, because I just feel really dry, dehydrated, not really like super thrilled about my skin these days, and I want more of a glow, I want more of a radiance. You know, maybe I'll try to play around with some of these powders too and see if that helps give me that effect, but just thought it'd be fun to pull in a face palette. And then, let's see, we just have a few products to finish off with. So, for my eyeliner, like I said, I always throw an eyeliner in here. This is another one from Pure. Again, I just recommend these. This is in Not Sorry, and it's kind of like a cool, kind of like a gray eyeliner. I don't know, I just think it's kind of neat. So, thought I'd throw that one in there. For my brow pencil, I chose this one from NARS. This is the Brow Perfector in Auburn Cool. I have another shade also, which is Blonde Warm, and that's a little bit too warm for my brows. I just want to try to use this and see if I want to keep it, because if not, I don't know why I'm just holding on to products that I never use because they don't really work for me. You do have more of a precise pencil on this one, and you get a spoolie on the other side, but it was just one of those that I didn't lose my mind over, and when I saw them in my little brow collection, I was like, either use them up or get them out. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's what we're gonna go for. My mascara, this one is from Whoosh. I think this brand is available at Ulta, or at least they used to be. This is the Flex and Curl 2-in-1 mascara. I think it's a fine mascara. It doesn't like overly thrill me in a lot of ways, but this is probably the mascara that's been open the longest in my collection. It's like really up there, so I'm like, okay, you need to move this one out. So I'm gonna try to use it up until it either runs out or we go to the next Shop My Stash, and then it would really need to be thrown out. So that is the mascara. My lip products, I really wanted to pull this one in from Milk Makeup because I've decided I'm gonna use it up as much as I can these next 2 months, and then I probably need to declutter it. I've had it for such a long time. It's kind of getting a little on like the questionable side, and so again, this is gonna be like its final hurrah. But this is the Milk Makeup lip color in Milk. If you guys remember when these came out, which was a while ago, I was obsessed with this color. I loved this color so much. It's one of those like your lips but better, and I think that it's beautiful. I wore it so much, I talked about it so much. It has more of a matte finish, but it goes on creamy, then it looks matte. It stays in place all day. I was wearing this this lipstick, sorry, not mascara. I was wearing it so much, and then it started to disappear from Sephora, from the Milk website, and I was like, no, what's happening? And they reformulate it, and I don't like the new formula, and I'm so sad because Milk Makeup sent me the lipsticks, the reformulated lipsticks, and I was like, it's fine, and they're way different. They're much more satiny, they're just more creamy, which can be a good thing, but they just slip around too much on my lips. There's not as much of a matte finish. I didn't feel like the colors were super similar, and I was so upset because I loved, did I even say the shade name? Cream. I don't even know if I said that. This is Milk Makeup Cream Lip Color. This is its reunion tour. Wait, does that make sense? Farewell tour. Reunion tour? What? This is the farewell tour for the Milk Makeup Cream Lipstick. You've been so good to me, my friend. I wanted to put a lip gloss in here too. This one is from Milani. This is in Nude Shimmer. This is one of their Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumpers. I bought this because I was hearing quite a few people talk about it. I think Emily Noel really loved this one. And also I asked for, I can't remember if it was just drugstore lip products or if I specified lip gloss in general in a video once though, and a lot of people said these Milani glosses. And I got this one and I reviewed it and I was like, it's nice, like it's good and all of that, but I wasn't like losing my mind over it once again. But I feel like I've been reaching for it just a little bit more, and I kind of have been really enjoying it. So I wanted to put it into my Shop My Stash to be like, was I wrong about this one? Did I change my mind? What's going on here? So have you guys tried these Milani glosses? I'm excited to try it out really consistently for the next 2 months here and come back with a review. And then finally for my eyeshadow palette, I was actually just watching a video on YouTube from Mandy Lee. She does a lot of 7 looks with 1 palette videos, and this one was an older video. I think it was from the summer, but she was using the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette that was in collaboration with Desi and Katie, and I was like, I haven't used that palette in forever. I want to use that palette too. And then especially seeing her do 7 looks, I was like, I'm gonna put this one in my Shop My Stash. So I decided to go with the Dose of Colors Desi x Katie Friendcation palette. Some beautiful shades in here. It's been a while since I've reached into this one. I really like the shimmers. You can kind of layer them and mix and match, and you just have a lot of options, more than the 10 that you see here that meets the eye, and I think that it's beautiful. So I'm really excited to have this one in my Shop My Stash bag. But other than that, that is everything that I am going to be working on for the next 2 months here. So again, in March there'll be an update on my Project Pan, and then in April I'll come back with the Shop My Stash and choose out a new bag also. I am in the middle of finally actually redoing my rooms. I know some people say that they want to see me actually going into my makeup drawers and pulling out makeup that way, kind of like a traditional Shop My Stash, which is why I have a play on words here and have this be the Shop My Stash. But I just got my very first vanity ever, and I'm so excited. I've always wanted my own vanity, and it was such a cool thing when we got it set up. And I'm getting some new desks, some new furniture. I'm actually gonna have a filming table coming, which is gonna be so exciting. So maybe down the road I could either change up the series, or I could do like every other or something like that. But I tend to always get comments in these videos about why don't I do it how everyone else does. And the beauty of the world that we live in now is that we don't have to be like everybody else, and we can do our own thing. And this is just what works out for me the best right now. But I am planning to vlog the room makeovers, so stay tuned for that because they are officially underway and I'm so excited about it. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for my Shop My Stash video. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing it and you're excited for the new series and also the Project Pan, all of that. If you guys did enjoy it though, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video.